Now, as you reflect back on your college and ROTC years, I'm reminded of a year, as General Pete pointed out, 1982, when I was sitting in the same auditorium, eating probably the same food. I chose the right cake to eat. I didn't eat my buddy's cake, Foster, in 1982. That was the year that I was lucky enough, and I'll tell you, I was lucky enough to receive the George C. Marshall Award from my university, Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia. As you sit there, I want you to think about the future, and I want you to try to imagine just how much will change and just how much will not change. This wasn't in the speech until this morning, and I have to do this. This is what they used to produce, I'm told, like a yearbook of when I was here. I think you do this online now. 1982. I turned to one of the seminars. I was in Roundtable 19. Where's 19? Huh? Where's 19? Oh, there you are. And the topic in seminar, or in Roundtable 19, was about Afghanistan and Operation Anaconda in the Great 10th Mountain Division, Climb of Glory. And it reminded me of how some things changed, but some remain the same. And one of the roundtables in 1982, guess what it was? Guess what it was? I'm reading from the book here. Southwest Asia, the Arc of Uncertainty, Iran, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. Let me read real quickly what this says, just one small paragraph. Afghanistan and Pakistan have become a hotbed of rebellion and instability. This seriously threatens our basic American interests, the preservation of American lifestyle, its values, and its survival. This was written in 1982. I thought that was pretty profound. Things do change, and some things remain the same. I want you to think about the future that you're going to face. When I was where you were sitting, a stamp cost 20 cents. That wasn't a postcard. It was a letter. There was a movie called E.T. It was playing at the movie theaters, and a show called Knight Rider about a car, a Trans Am, was on TV in prime time. The average cost of a house, $84,000. You can't buy a car these days for $84,000. Okay? There were only about 500 ATM machines in the state of California, and there was no online banking. In fact, Intel had produced a microprocessor with a 16-bit. That's B-I-T, bit. I think your watch, it's not even a watch today has that. The Wayne computer then was new, and it cost $9,000. The first cell phones were undergoing trials. They wouldn't be approved for commercial use until 1 year later, and when they did, they weighed 2.5 pounds and cost $4,000. How heavy is your cell phone? You couldn't afford it, being in the Army. There's no Facebook, no Twitter, no Google, and all the other words that are not in my notes. In fact, most of the things you use every day didn't even exist back then. Now look, this wasn't a lesson in history. All I'm trying to do is to get you to understand how nearly impossible it will be for you to imagine how the world will change in the next 28 years, in your time leading this great army. One thing is certain, things will change. I had no idea 28 years ago how important this award would be to my career. I had no idea. I wish I did. I hope you do. I looked at this book again, and I looked at all the names in the book in 1982 when I was here in April. 5 of the people in this book are now general officers. 5, just out of this. None of us knew that we would be here. I certainly wouldn't have told you then that I'd be here before you today. There's no way. There's no way I would tell you that. I think that's remarkable. Somebody saw something in me that I didn't even know I had. They see the same thing in you. That's why you're here. I assure you, several of you are going to be senior leaders in our Army, and many of you will be general officers. If you don't believe that, again, I didn't know that would happen. So in the months, years, decades from now, should you find yourself in a moment of decision and wonder, what is expected of me? What should I do? Just remember all the things you've learned and achieved in ROTC and in college. We are the United States Army. We make the necessary sacrifices to ensure America fulfills its role in shaping the world's view of democracy and enforcing freedom around the world, enforcing the freedoms to which all individuals are entitled around the world. Throughout its history, the Army has been decisive in battle and persuasive in peace. We all serve voluntarily, and we serve proudly. Live the values, live the virtues. Do this, and you'll not only distinguish yourselves as soldiers, and one day be standing here talking to another group of cadets, you'll also lead, and you will write the new chapter in history for our proud Army. As you go forth to do this and serve our great nation, I want to say thank you and I salute you. And thanks again for having me here today.
Good.